Welcome to my first vegetable garden. Today I want to just quickly show you how to pot up your tomato seed starts, your transplants, into larger containers. You could use a 6-pack like this. This is a large cell. I sell these at my seed shop. Or you could use yogurt cups, half water bottles, just poke holes into them. The reason you want to pot up is you want the root system to get bigger. A bigger root system is going to support better upper growth, and it's really important that you have a nice root system in place when the plants go out into the garden. Let me show you what I mean. The plants here were planted on 12/19, so that's 30 days plus 7. This is about 5 weeks, 6 weeks worth of growth from putting the seed into the seed starting mix. And if you want to follow me here on my first vegetable garden, I'll show you how to seed start tomatoes. It's early. I'm doing this for videos. I don't plant these in December, but I use them for video props. As your plants begin to develop, you can see how the root system in the small cell, these are the standard cells that you buy at most places, the roots are really getting coiled. And at 5 weeks, this is okay. I mean, this could go into the ground, but I'm more under the impression that a bigger root system really leads to better plants out in your garden. But at 5 weeks, 6 weeks, this has to get potted up. So I'm going to put it into this container, show you how to do that in a second. I want to show you what the same plants look like started in a larger container. Let me pull this up. And same variety. And you can see that there's more room for the roots to grow. And I don't have to pot this up probably, for another 2 or 3 weeks. But after 6, 8 weeks of growth, this is going to be the right size to go right out into the garden. So I'm saving myself a step by starting in the larger containers or in yogurt cups. The reason you would start in the smaller containers is because you have limited space where your grow lights are. Like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 racks of lights. I have plenty, so I can start in these larger cells. A lot of people maybe just have one set, so they're starting in the tiny cells, and then you do have to pot them up. Once you pot them up, or when the plants are bigger like this, they don't have to spend as much time under your grow lights. So sometimes people then put these by a south-facing window. That's enough light to manage these larger plants. Sometimes they take them out during the day, bring them in at night, and they just kind of move them from the lights, from the shelving. So we're going to pop in just 3 of these, and it's pretty straightforward. Fill your cells loosely. You don't need to be gentle. The plants aren't as fragile as we think. And then just make a big hole like that. We'll do one at a time. And you're just going to pop in the transplant. You do want to loosen the roots. Some people worry that's hurting the plant. You want these to be going in all different directions so they fill up the cell. If the hole's not quite big enough, just stretch it out a little. Press it in a little bit below. So we're planting to about here. A little more depth. Drop in the soil, press it in, and that transplant's perfect. Let's just do the other ones real quick. Same process. Loosen up the root ball where it's really kind of dense. Loosen it up a little bit more. The plants might get a little bit of shock, but not enough that it's going to harm them. Drop in the soil, just mound it up, press it in, another big circle. Loosen up the root ball, drop it in, add the soil, press it in. Now this process that I just showed you is the same for pepper plants, eggplants, tomato plants. When you have them, a single plant per cell, something like that. That's a pepper plant. The process would be exactly the same. I'm going to do the next video on what happens if you have multiple pepper plants, tomato plants, even eggplant in the same cell. You're going to have to loosen the roots. You're going to have to pull them apart. The process is a little bit different. The next video is going to cover when you plant multiple seeds in a small cell. How do you separate them? How do you pot them up? Just taking away some of the excess. And now we have these tomato plants potted up into larger cells. They can stay in here a good 2-3 weeks. If you do the timing right, and again, please follow me, I'll go over the timing and planting over the next week actually, these will be ready to go right out into the garden. And just keep in mind, just an FYI, when you grow these plants indoors, they're not used to the sun, the wind, or the cold. So you have to transition them slowly outside. A little bit each day over 7 days toughens up the leaves to the UV rays of the sun. If you were to plant these right out into your garden, sun, bright sun, 1 day of sun, very quickly that sun will kill your plant off because they're not used to the UV rays of the sun. So you have to acclimate them over a 7-day period. Thanks so much for watching. Please check out my seed shop at therustedgarden.com. Once these are in, just bottom water like I've been showing you. These plants are good to go. And just real quick, I want to go over some information about potting up. You can use the seed starting mix that you're using. Some people will buy a potting mix. That's fine to use. I will show you how to make all this if you just check out my channel. Over January, I went over seed starting mix, bottom watering, fertilizing, everything you need to do to take care of your seed starts. I will be going over just about every plant you can think of, seed starting them indoors, getting them out into the garden. Please subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.